Hi there and welcome back to Japan, where I've been checking out a little bit more of YABAI t-shirts, and I'm going to give you the review now. But if you want to see the reaction, then pause this video, click the link in the description below where it will open up a separate little YouTube player, and you can watch the song with me if you haven't seen it before, or if you just want to see how I'm going to react. But if you want to see the review, that's what I'm about to give you. So if you want to check out the reaction, pause this video, otherwise here comes the review, and don't say I didn't warn you. So, what can we really say about this song? Now, this is an interesting one because there has been some bands before where I've listened to a song by them, and it's been a long time before I've listened to the second one. And in very rare cases, I'm thinking Alia here. The second song's come along, and I've been like, actually, you know what? I don't know why I left it so long. This group's really good. I think this is probably one of the moments I'm having right now. Now, I don't know how much I'm going to enjoy their songs afterwards, but I certainly am definitely going to be listening to more of YABAI t-shirts to be getting a more balanced opinion of them. The first song I heard by them, like I said, I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. It was well balanced. It was very upbeat and nice video. However, like I said, it didn't really stick with me because I just don't think it was... it didn't have that sort of catchy standout quality. Now, this one, interestingly, this song is, we're talking about a wedding song. A lot of Japanese groups do wedding songs. It seems to be a popular thing. I think it's kind of like how Western groups do like the Christmas song. If you get a good Christmas hit, then you can rely on that for the rest of your life. I think that might be the Japanese approach. If you do a good wedding song, you can make money off of that for the rest of your life. I don't know, but it just seems to be my opinion. I think every Japanese artist, maybe even the metal ones, they all seem to have a wedding song somewhere in their catalogue, somewhere in their portfolio. This is, to me though, so infectiously happy. Now, I'll break down the details, but this just is something where you, like a moth to a light bulb, you can't turn away from it. It just really, really, really just oozes a sense of joy, and it's got a great dynamic. And I think that comes from the fact that the song itself is so kinetic. It's got such an amazing energy to it. Now, that obviously primarily is coming from the vocals. The fact that the vocals are so well balanced with each other. I'm assuming the main vocalist, I'm going to say is the main vocalist. His voice is, because he's the one who's singing for the majority of the song, his voice is it's got a good pop quality in that it's he's got a full enough voice, but it's not too much. It's kind of like he's got a voice that's light enough that he can be bouncy and sort of rhythmic with it, but also full enough that it counters wonderfully against the female vocal, which is just, it's really, really high pitched. But again, people think of high pitched and often you hear words like thin, which I don't really like when people use that word. I know what they're getting at, but often looking at high-pitched vocals, and again, thinking of things like Nekrai Talkie, it gives you the ability to be rather nimble with the way you sing. You can be, you can bounce around more, be more rhythmic, and you can be very playful with a more high-pitched vocal. Silent Siren, another great example of that, because Silent Siren, what they show is that you can also be quite expressive with a more high-pitched voice as well. So often people kind of don't take that style of singing seriously, but actually it can really work. And in this example, it's similar, I think, to the Nekrai Talkie thing, the way that she's using it to really, a very sort of nimble, fun, and, just infectious effect. But it balances well against his vocal, and that's what really works, is the two of them together. It makes each other's performances better because of the balance. And again, playfully done. It's not just simple harmonies. There's bits where he'll come in, come out. There's in the last chorus how he was holding notes while she kept on singing the same chorus. It feels dynamic. It feels almost like it's jammed, and yet you can tell that that's just actually a clever byproduct of the fact it's just very well constructed. It doesn't settle. It doesn't allow itself to get boring. This was shown as well by the fact they had a nice little change in rhythm in the second verse, which, as I was saying during the reaction, is such a Japanese trope, but in such a great way. It's almost a trope that instead of being something that everyone does, it's something that the thing that everyone does is to keep things different in the second verse. So yeah, I really love the way it was constructed. I believe that if I was getting this right, the drummer seemed to be getting in on the vocals as well. I wasn't sure, because sometimes what they do is they'll layer up the male vocal, but I'm pretty sure that all three of them were singing their own parts at points. I think he was just giving a backing vocal. Guys, tell me, I might have misinterpreted that. But yeah, on top of that, you've got a chorus, which is, okay, we're not talking about sort of ultra catchy here, but this now has got a chorus that I think is catchy enough that I'm going to remember it. It's going to sort of come back into my mind and bring me back to the song more regularly. However, I think that it's not as catchy as just how catching the feeling of the song was. And this is backed up by the video. Now, as I say, the video, if you think about it, virtually nothing happens in this video. Three of them run up to a couple, dance around them. The couple don't really do that much. They walk down the street. The camera goes around them. You get that bit of sort of zoomed in, pan around bit, which gives them the ability to obviously do the cut they need to do to, you know, dress them up in the wedding stuff. But then you get that, and then they pop up, and then they just kind of walk along a bit more. And yet it worked brilliantly. I think probably the most expensive thing about that video was maybe just paying to have the street closed. You know, it worked fantastically. And I think that's because it really just played to the band. And the band, again, I'm seeing a similar thing to Necrai Talkie, and yet also completely different. In that Necrai Talkie also have this infectiously fun thing, but they do it in a very sort of stoic, cheeky, that sort of cheeky, almost sarcastically stoic manner. Like the guitarist from Necrai Talkie, who seems to never even smile, and yet he's always doing something bizarre in the videos, and like, you know, just playing around with, you know, adjusting his plug and everything during a guitar solo. You know, just these weird things that happen in their videos, but it's all done in a slightly stoic way, which makes it kind of, you know, it's fun. But yes, when you do something fun by doing the opposite. Whereas these guys, they're just playing directly to character. They're just bouncing around, jumping, being fun. Actually, that's kind of like the lead singer from Necrai Talkie. Anyway, you get my point. They're bouncing around, just being crazy, and they look like they enjoy it, and they really do personify their own song. It kind of, you know, happy songs can be genuine as well. People often think if you're talking about an emotional song, you think about sad emotions, but happiness is an emotion as well. And so in the same way that you can lean in and be genuine about a dramatic or a sad or a deeply meaningful song, you can be genuine about being happy as well. And I think sort of fake happiness does lead to a song that doesn't come across so well, but genuine happiness, a genuine sense of cheeky fun really works. And these guys just wonderful. I just really loved seeing how well they played it. So yeah, this was just simple stuff that worked amazingly. And I really, really can't say enough how happy I was to hear this. Musically, yeah, it's basically just a rock song. It's a well-written song. It's got a nice pre-chorus. It's got a decent bridge. You know, the bridge is not like a Write Home About It one, but it's nice how they did that. It, you know, nicely feeds you into the last chorus. It is basically a rock song, but it's mainly, for me, it's the sense that what would be on its own, on paper, just a well-written rock song with a good catchy chorus and a good flow and some nice instrumentation and some clever little bits of variation, is in fact turned into something significantly more by the energy that's put into it, by the way that the vocals are mixed, and by just the sense that, you know, it means what it says. So I really enjoyed this. Like I say, I'm looking forward to hearing more, but as always, guys, get in the comments, tell me what you think. Music is subjective to opinion. I can speak as someone who's worked with music my entire adult life, but it does not mean that my opinion is better than anyone else's. I'm just trying to start the conversation. If you want to like and subscribe on this, you can as well. I'm looking forward to reading those comments and maybe being able to reply to some of them. But if you want to do a little bit more talking with the rest of the community about Japanese music, then remember, we've also got our social medias linked in the description below, and on top of that, our Patreon supporters. Bless you! You have kept this channel alive. So a massive thank you to you, and just thanks for making it through to the end of this video. So until I see you hopefully soon in Japan for the next one, for now, ciao ciao.